here again for Thriving Lessons with Dr. G. Welcome, 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 wherever you are joining us from. What is emotional wellness or emotional well being? And then I always love to go for the scientific definition because we all have our own definition for different things in life, and that is okay. What something may mean to me may be different from what it means to you, and still that is okay. So far as you are thriving in that area, I give you my greetings, right? But then when you go to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, which we usually call SAMHSA, they define it as the ability to express feeling, adjust to emotional challenges, cope with life stresses, and enjoy life. I want us to look at each of these pieces for a second. Your ability to adjust to emotional challenges, your ability to express feelings, your ability to cope with life stresses, and your ability to enjoy life. Right now, give me a percentage. Maybe a percentage would be overwhelming. Between this, let's do a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest possible. Where would you rank your emotional well-being? Right now, give me some numbers. Between 10 and 1, would you track or would you grade or would you scale or would you rate your emotional wellness? So, your ability to express feeling. How easily are you able to express your feeling? When somebody hurts you, when somebody harms you, when you get to work and somebody's doing something you don't like, are you able to express it? Are you able to express your joy as well? As much as we're able to express our dislike, how about our joy? When something exciting happens in your life, are you able to celebrate? Are you able to share? Are you able to enjoy? It's unfortunate, but sometimes we feel guilty for enjoying things that we really deserve, especially as mothers. Sometimes you don't want to enjoy life because you feel like, I have a husband, I have a child, we're on budget, we are doing this, we are doing that. But enjoyment doesn't always mean money. Okay, it doesn't always mean spending money. But how well are you able to express your joys and your sadness? How well are you able to adjust to emotional challenges? When there is a death in the family, how soon are you able to overcome the grief? When something good happens, how soon are you able to get over it and get back to work? Some people love to enjoy and they will over-enjoy and over-drink and over-abuse food. So I'm still celebrating, so I'm eating ice cream today. Oh, I'm still celebrating, so tomorrow cake. I'm still celebrating, oh, pizza. I'm still celebrating. Hey, how well are you able to adjust? Like, okay, I've had enough fun. It's enough. Let me get back. Do you have control? That's the main thing. Do you have control over your emotional challenges? Like, okay, enough of this. Let me switch to this. Enough of that. How is that going for you? Okay. And the next thing I am asking you to consider right now, how you are able to cope with life stresses. All of us face some kind of stresses. When COVID happened, it was affecting everybody. But some people were able to cope more than others, probably because they had social support, probably because they had jobs that still supported them. Some people couldn't because maybe they were laid off or they were going through other health challenges that contributed to it. But when life happens, when disasters happen, when health or disease outbreak happens, how well are you able to adjust? When you go to school and you are overwhelmed with exam and assignments, how well are you able to adjust? All right. And then the last one, how well are you enjoying life in general? Okay, so now give me your scale between 1 and 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. Where are you going to rank your emotional well-being today? Today, not in the future, not in the past. Today, where would you find yourself? Show me the numbers and we'll go ahead and share some resources, some practical steps that can help us improve our emotional well-being. We are learning that there is an aspect of our life that equally needs attention, just like our physical health. And today it is emotional well-being. So if you thought it was normal for you to always be sad, if you thought it was normal for you to always feel like going out to enjoy, whether the occasion calls for it or not. If you thought it was okay for you to be guilty, even when you win an award, you can't open up and celebrate, it's probably not. And that is what we are talking about, that maybe you have to pay attention now. Maybe you have to pay attention to how you are feeling. Maybe you have to pay attention to how you are able to adjust. You have to now pay attention to all the little things that makes you feel all the feelings you feel throughout the week. Why you are not happy. Why you are struggling at work. Why you have that headache. That could also be. All right, so I brought up some practical steps that we can take so that we can improve our holistic wellness with specific attention to our emotional well-being. So the first thing we have to look at, and data shows that most adults in the world, and it's very interesting. I'm going to show you the data. Most adults in the world, specifically 280 million people in the world, have depression. 280 million people in the world. And depression can cause suicide, can lead to suicide. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among ages 15 to 29. That is such a young age, such a young age, the prime of people's age. They are dying 15 to 29 before many turns 30. And then over 700,000 people die due to suicide every single year. I'll just leave you to make the calculation. Between 2020 or 2000 and 2020, 20 years, how many people have we lost? This is why it's important for us to pay attention to how we feel. This is why it's important for us to seek help when needed. This is why it is important for us to not be ashamed. Never, ever, ever be ashamed of how you are feeling. No, it's okay. It's okay. There is space for that. There are resources for that. You can be helped. I can be helped. And I think we are mostly ashamed because we don't share. Can I share with you that I also feel sad sometimes? Can I share with you that I sometimes don't want to do anything? I just want to lie down and do nothing. And it's okay to feel that sometimes, but when you have to go through that every single day, every single hour, for a week, for 2 weeks, that is where the problem comes in. So how can we as thriving friends pay attention to our emotional well-being? The first thing we have to take care of will be our feelings. And if you remember the definition we went through, it talked about our ability to control emotional challenges, our ability to enjoy life. When you are sad, our ability to express it. When you are happy, our ability to express it. So what are some of the ways that we can improve our emotional well-being? With specific attention to our feelings. Did you know that there is help available? Maybe you did, maybe you did not. But the depression scale, that is why I wanted the experts to talk about the depression scale, talks about being sad, being moody continuously for 2 weeks. That is when you know that you are depressed. So do you allow yourself to open and acknowledge your feeling without judgment? That is one thing to think about. And have you found and developed safe relationship with people? Do you see challenges as opportunities for growth? And do you recognize your limitations as strength or mistakes to learn from? That is how we can benefit from our feelings. So when you fail at one point, look at what happened. Look at what made you feel the way you are feeling. And can we learn from that and move forward? So some of the resources that can help us when it comes to our feelings and our emotions will be reflecting each day. Reflecting on our day. So today being Friday, at the end of the day, you sit down, find just a moment, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. What happened today? What were some of my feelings? Was I happy most of the day? Was I sad most of the days? What caused it? Just noting some of these things can be helpful. You may realize that it's when you are around some people that is when you are sad. Some people automatically pour their energy on you. And when they are happy, you are happy. When they are sad, you are sad. And you can avoid some of these people when you get to know that this is what is causing my pain, this is what is causing my trouble. And also, you may realize that when you're around some people, you're excited, they give you energy, they give you motivation, you have the vision, you want to do this, you want to do that. Be around those people some more. But how would you know if you've not reflected? So that could be one of the ways to reflect and work on your emotional well-being. And also, you can develop regular habits and process to deal with your feelings. When you are sad, what are some of the things you would do? Would you go for a walk rather than eating ice cream? Would you go and exercise rather than doing something? You have to come up with strategies that work for you. Some people hate cardio, so you can't recommend do cardio when you are sad. They just probably need a small walk or yoga or stretching exercises, and they are just fine. You are different, I am different. There isn't one thing that works for everybody. Stick with yours, go with yours, thrive in your own unique way. All right. And then the last thing to consider when it comes to your feelings and emotions will be finding a place where you feel safe and comfortable. And that can be tricky. It could be a place, it could be a person. But with my cultural background, it's difficult to share your sadness. And even if we will be sincere on LinkedIn, what do we see the most? We see successes, we see achievements, we see, and I just want this, and I just got that, and I just got that. And sometimes you wonder if you are the only one going through the stress you are going through. You wonder if you're the only one struggling the way you are struggling. The truth is, you may not be. But help is available. If you're not comfortable sharing with individuals, if you're not comfortable sharing with people you are familiar with, right? There is professional help. And it's okay to go for it. So now let's move on to the next thing on my list, and that will be self-care. I see self-care to be very, very tricky in the sense that in our modern day, self-care has become a thing of its own. People talk about self-care and all they are referring to is some fancy vacation, some massage. In fact, when I said self-care, what came to mind? What were you thinking? Probably you were thinking of a moment of silence in like a heavenly place with like people serving on you and giving you ice cream. And self-care is much more than what we think it is. And I love this image I found online. So this is from I think it's Society of Social Workers Association or something like that on Twitter. And they said self-care can be made up of several things, okay? Several things, and that includes asking for help. That is self-care too. Spending time alone, that is self-care too. Putting yourself first, no guilt in taking care of yourself, because if you take care of yourself, you have the energy to take care of others too. Asking for what you need, that is self-care too. You've been working with this employer, you've been giving your all, you think you deserve a raise, go and have that discussion. It is self-care too. Setting boundaries. When you have friends who are draining you, when you have relations that are not being helpful, you have to be able to set boundaries. This is a professional relationship, this is a social relationship. It doesn't go beyond this point, it doesn't go beyond that point. It is what it is. That is self-care too. Staying at home can be self-care too. You don't have to be out there if you don't want to be out there. You don't have to be out there. Just stay at home, enjoy your quiet space, eat your gari and noodle and sleep. Okay? Saying no is self-care too. If you can't do it, it's fine. Hi, I would have loved to help you. Unfortunately, I am not able to do that at this time. That is self-care too. And then forgiving yourself is self-care too. You promised yourself you were going to be on diet. Unfortunately, you couldn't follow through. Forgive yourself and try again. You promised yourself that you were going to save this amount of money by this time. You couldn't do that. Okay, that is so bad. But forgive yourself and move on. Try again. Just keep trying. Keep trying until you do it. It's okay. Forgive yourself. And taking a step back. Taking a step back is the last one, and I think it's very, very important too. Why should you take a step back? If you don't reflect, you will not be able to identify what is working well and what is not working well and make the necessary changes. You don't want to keep going until you hit the block. You hit the block, then you turn back. You might have gone too many miles, too many miles. You don't want to do that. We want to go a little bit, pause, make the changes, then make the corrections, then move on, and then we keep thriving, and then we keep thriving, and then we keep thriving. That is what we want, okay? That is what we are aiming for, and that is what we are going to do. So now we are just going to focus on a little bit, and that is many of us are stressed. It is estimated that more than half of adults are stressed related to the work they are doing. Why are we stressed? Why are we stressed? Is it because we are doing more than we can do? Is it because we are taking on more than we need to take on? Is it because we are not saying no when we have to say no? Several things could account for stress in our lives, but what can we pay attention to? We can pay attention to learning to manage our stress in that work for our lifestyle. Like I said, we are different people, different things work for us, and we all have access to different kind of resources. There are some people who can go on a cruise when they are stressed. Some people are not there yet. They cannot even go on a 2-hour trip when they are stressed. That is okay. So find a way around your lifestyle and your environment that works for you. Your stress is different from somebody else's stress. Let us not compare ourselves. We are not the same. Even if you know how much I have in my bank account, we are not the same. My emotional capacity may be different from yours. Do what works for you. If you have to stay home, stay home. Remember the self-care chat we looked at? Yes, it's okay to take care of yourself too. And also recognize that stress triggers other things and other feelings in our lives. So if you are doing too much and you are seeing that it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting your emotional health, just let it go. You are more important than the money you are trying to make, because guess what? When you die, the work will be there. Someone else will take that position. Someone else will invent that project. Someone else would have to take care of your family. Is that what you want? Probably not. So instead of pushing when your body is telling you, hey, can you give me a break? You're like, no, let's keep going. It's good to be motivated. We are the thriving generation. We want to be motivated. We want to do more. We want to thrive. However, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to pause, look back, look to the side. It's what I'm doing helping in any way? Should I just go one step back? Or can I just keep going at the pace that I'm going at? That is important. That can help with your stress, okay? And the last thing is to welcome and cultivate positive, empowering thoughts and emotions. Sometimes the truth is that we have to do the kind of work that will stress us out. There is nothing we can do. When you work with people, you can only control how you feel. You cannot control how somebody else is going to feel. You cannot control how somebody else is going to manage their temper. You cannot control how somebody else is going to affect the environment. But make a conscious effort to put yourself in a space where you have the positive environment. Your affirmations may come in place. So having some cards with you to read through the day to give you some energy back. I am strong, I am able, I am capable, I have all that I need to get this work done. Oh, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Or you can go that I have the physical ability to get my work done. Or my mental health is intact. I am smart, I am able to reason, I am the lead in what I do. I am able to produce when needed. I am on tax, I'm tax oriented. bed. I do not procrastinate. You can say some of these things to get your energy up, okay? Because it may not come naturally based on where you are working. All the feelings you have, take a moment and assess them. Make sure that you are on track to thriving. Depression is real, suicide is real. Let's take care of ourselves and let's thrive. Okay? I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Bye.